Hello.
Hi.
This is Jeff. Wonderful fellow.
I'm working as well.
Yes.
So bear with me.
Multitasking. Our very first question is: do you know how coffee is disposed of here at Starbucks?
Well, are we talking about brewed coffee or the grinds?
Both. But
Yes.
let's start with brew.
Okay, brewed coffee, when we have used it up, if we don't have an opportunity to serve it, it has to go down the drain.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's a sad thing. But what we try to do is monitor how much coffee we need versus how many customers we're getting so we can minimize that.
Okay. What about the coffee grinds themselves?
The coffee grinds themselves, we put it into a garbage can that's lined with a recyclable, compostable liner. And we collect that until about a 5-gallon bucket worth, if you can imagine, is ready to go. We take it out to a compost bin. The trash service here is contracted in this area by Cleanscapes, and they take it and they send it off to do compost services for it, much like the city of Seattle does.
That's pretty cool. And this I understand if you don't know about it, but do you know the environmental impacts or effects of the actual harvesting of coffee? 5 minutes on Google maybe will tell us about
the
this.
environmental impacts of it. Well, first off, Starbucks practices policies with the farmers around the world to be good stewards to their land and to their practices in their communities. So part of what can happen with environmental impacts with growing coffee is that global warming is shrinking the amount of surface area on the earth in the right altitudes, say mountainous regions, where coffee plants can grow. So as the globe gets warmer, beyond my control every day here at Starbucks, we are going to be losing more land that's usable to grow coffee because it needs to be elevated and arid and warm.
Okay.
So that gives you one answer. The other answer is, I'm sure there's some small measures of environmental impact that happen when growing coffee, just like there could happen with growing anything, but I don't think that it's a major crisis.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't even know how many questions we have. This is not the most professional project.
Oh, that's okay.
General question. It's mostly about the environmental impact of coffee, coffee drinking.
Well, consider this. This is something different. We have so many cafes in Seattle and a huge coffee drinking culture, and if everybody has to pour their coffee down the drain, it's most likely going to find its way into the sound. And so I wonder how much caffeine we're distributing to the fish, along with other contaminants in our community. But that's one thing to consider, that coffee does find its way into our ocean if we're pouring it down the drains. So that could be an example of an unexpected or unintended environmental impact.
Yeah,
It's like when you put salt on roads when it's icy, and the salt finds its way into the Puget Sound. I mean, the same could be for some amount of coffee every day.
They did find that the Puget Sound was caffeinated. One of my group members was just talking about that.
Just take a little sip of it.
Yeah.
I guess that'll be your first test.
They found that Seattle is the third most caffeinated city in America.
And we're not even that big of a city.
No.
But we drink the most coffee. Cool.
It's
Do you
incredible.
have any other questions, Aaron?
I think that's it. That's really wonderful.